Do you ever have moments like this? You're arguing with someone, and the moment they say something harsh, your eyes instantly fill with tears. You're not scared, you're not pretending. You're simply trying your hardest to control your emotions, holding back the urge to explain yourself, to express how you truly feel, terrified of saying the wrong thing. You're genuinely doing your best, carefully choosing every word with sincerity. But all the other person notices are your tears. They never see your heart. You're not irrational. You just care too deeply, fear losing people too much, and take everything to heart. You're not fragile. You've simply been holding your emotions in for far too long. Sometimes you don't even break down because you're sad. You break down because someone suddenly shows you a little kindness. And it's the final straw that causes the mask you've been wearing all day to fall apart. Do you find yourself hating this version of yourself more and more? Every time there's an argument, all you want is to explain yourself clearly. But before you can finish speaking, the tears come first. You didn't do anything wrong, yet in other people's eyes, you always seem like the most emotional, the most vulnerable person in the room. Then, late at night, you replay everything in your mind. Every word, every expression, every pause. My dear, if this sounds like you may be what's known as a highly sensitive person. But please remember, this is not a flaw. There is nothing wrong with you. You're simply deeply sensitive, genuinely sincere, and you care too much about what other people think and say. You try so hard to be understood. Yet you're terrified that one wrong word might push someone you love away. You're not weak. You've been independent and mature ever since you were young. You're just incredibly kind. When your family got angry, you didn't dare talk back. When your friends ignored you, you blamed yourself first, wondering what you had done wrong. You rarely get angry, not because you don't have a temper, but because you know that once emotions explode, some relationships can never be repaired. You stay silent because you can't bear the thought of hurting someone else. The reason you're like this often begins in childhood. In psychology, being highly sensitive isn't a weakness. It simply means you have an exceptionally perceptive heart. You're not overly emotional. You just have deep empathy and experience emotions more intensely than most people. Maybe you grew up with conditional love. You were praised only when you earned good grades. You were loved only when you were obedient. While other children could throw tantrums and still be accepted, you learned to be sensible, careful, and patient. You learned to read the room to please everyone else, and to relax only when everyone around you was happy. You didn't dare show your true emotions because you believed you had to be good to deserve love. So now, as an adult, whenever conflict appears, your first thought isn't, am I right? Instead, it's, what did I do wrong? You work so hard to be a good person that you don't even allow others to see when you're hurting. But the person who needs your protection the most is you. So how do you begin to heal? Step 1. Stop trying to become tougher. Instead, give yourself permission to be vulnerable. Tears are not weakness. They're emotional release, your body's natural way of protecting itself. Step 2. Pause and ask yourself honestly, are you truly protecting this relationship? Or are you sacrificing yourself just to keep the peace? No relationship is worth constantly suppressing your feelings or abandoning yourself. You're allowed to be unhappy. You're allowed to say, I don't like this. You're allowed to say no. That isn't selfish and it isn't cold. It's called setting healthy boundaries. Not everyone deserves your constant apologies or endless people-pleasing. Start by understanding yourself. Start by taking care of yourself. The final step is learning to accept this sensitive, emotional part of who you are. Your sensitivity, your depth, and your ability to feel everything so deeply are not flaws. They're beautiful expressions of your kindness, sincerity, and your incredible capacity to love. True strength isn't becoming cold or emotionally invincible. True strength is staying gentle while also learning how to protect yourself. So, my dear, starting today, stop apologizing for your sensitivity. You've already spent so much of your life protecting other people's feelings. Now it's time to save some of that love and energy for yourself. You're allowed to cry. Just don't forget to comfort the hurting part of yourself afterward. Real gentleness isn't never falling apart. It's choosing to gently hold yourself together every time your emotions overflow. You don't need to become the person everyone else expects you to be. You only need to slowly grow into someone who can catch yourself, support yourself, and love yourself. Like and subscribe for